Hello and welcome to Monday. Still a bit off from yesterday, but that's fine. Uh, yeah, things are kind of weird, but I kind of just took today easy because I needed to. But that leads me into something I wanted to talk about. So, at the concert yesterday, a couple of things happened, right? So, I had been listening to the set list for all the bands playing. I just looked up a playlist on Spotify that had, all the bands. So Ben Quad into Just Friends into Prince Daddy into Microwave. And I've been listening to it on loop to prep for the concert, right? I don't know if that's something that people do or not, but I figured why not, right? To help learn some of the lyrics, learn some of the songs, mostly for Ben Quad and for Microwave, as I'm very familiar with Just Friends and kind of familiar with Prince Daddy and the Hyena. So I was looking at the set list for Prince Daddy, and one of the songs really stuck out to me. Off of their self-titled album, wow, that's morbid. Prince Daddy and the Hyena. Uh, on the back, you could see. I just don't know. This is the back of the. Yeah, it's morbid. But on the back, you could see that track number 12 is called Black Mold. Now, Black Mold is a track that is very special. It is almost 9 minutes long. I believe it's 8 minutes 50 seconds, which is incredibly long for a song, right? Artists will at most maybe 5 minutes. Uh, but if you have a song that's that length, there's something different about it. And I this track stood out to me not because it was 9 minutes long, because on my phone I don't think Spotify lists the length of a track when you're going through the listing. So if I go to this and then we go to, yeah, it doesn't like list it. So where is it? Yeah, right here. It says Black Mold, and it doesn't say how long the track is. But if I tap on it right now, it should say 850, right? Yeah, 850. It stood out to me because I had been listening to another artist whose record is not here; it's on the other side. Artist by the name of Full Blown Meltdown, who produced a record called Mollify, and it is like an arm's reach away. I'll grab it. One second. F, right? F. Right here next to First Aid Kit. So, this is a record by the wonderful Will. Um, it's a solid record. But he is big in the DIY and punk scene. And he's like one of the few reasons I will like open up Twitter to just scroll through his feed, because he posts a lot about just bands and music in general in that kind of scene, and it's wonderful stuff. He mentioned that he was going to see Prince Daddy and the Hyena a couple weeks back, and he was hoping to hear Black Mold, as well as Curlicue maybe, which he says are the strongest tracks on this record. So, I, I've listened to this record plenty of times. I enjoy Adore the Sun, The Collector, El Dorado, Holiday. Like, all these songs are great, but I never really paid too much attention to Black Mold. And it struck me this time when I was listening to it, because I went in with the thought of, hey, Will thinks this track is incredibly special and good. Let me look into it more. So, after listening to the first, minute or so, it is a voicemail of one of the lead singer's friends, who called him up super drunk one night and just felt like he called up a bunch of people and he was drunk, but Corey, the lead singer, felt that this friend was not in a great spot in his life and wanted to, tried reaching out, tried calling him, and thought, things weren't going well. And from there, it's a really interesting track where it doesn't feel like it's 9 minutes long, but it's just, full of guitar riffs, full of this voicemail dialogue, and it's just wild where it goes. Uh, so I was thinking this Saturday and Sunday, just thinking about this track, looking into the lyrics, looking to what that voicemail meant. There's an interview on Brooklyn Vegan, which is a punk rock kind of news site, and Corey talked about this track, and on Genius the annotations broke down. It's like, hey, this is what this voicemail meant, and this is like actual the words behind it, because on Spotify it's not there. So it really struck me. It's just a song about reaching out to friends that you haven't talked to in X amount of time, right? It's a track about Corey not speaking to this friend in 10 years, and he gets super super drunk and decides, hey, let's call Corey and see, hope that he's doing well, see what he's up to, make sure he's all right. And I don't it we all make friends over the course of our lives that you think are going to be people who are in your life forever. Somebody that you've met maybe as a kid in, first couple days at school, or somebody who you've only just ran into the other day and just decided to spark up some kind of friendship with them. And that might last for a couple weeks, or it might last for decades to come. And whether or not you reach out to this, like you actively talk to this person, you're still friends with somebody who you spoke with, a dozen years ago. It feels weird saying it, but like, back in, oh my god, like for me, I'm only 27, so a decade ago I was still in high school, and when you're in high school, your whole life revolves around these people that you see every single day. But as soon as high school ends and you're off to college, those friendships kind of fall apart because, well, they're really were only your friends because proximity. You only talk to these people because you saw them every day. And then once you stop seeing them every day, you're off on your own in college, again, making new friendships, but also, hey, it's on you to speak to these people, to keep in touch with them. And you don't. Life gets busy, and while you keep talking for them, maybe over the summer, and maybe you talk to these people once in a while, it just diminishes. And it's weird, right? All of a sudden, X amount of years later, you realize, hey, I want to get back into contact with these people. So you do. Speaking of, I just realized I think I might have missed that friend's birthday. 1 second. It was here. When is her birthday? November 29th. I will remember that. Yeah, I was talked about this person last year when I found a photo of us just sitting together back in like 4th grade, and she moved away in 6th grade. Uh, and we just haven't spoken in, ever since we just haven't been in contact. So I figured, hey, it's been uh 14, 15 years since we last spoke, and this person was super important to me in elementary school of all things. And I figured, hey, why not reach out? Why not talk to this person, see what's going on, and see how they're doing? Because I have not talked to them in so long, and realistically, they were not supposed to be a part of my life. And then I shot an email to them, And despite us emailing very infrequently, I last email was 6 months ago, but I will follow up on that. It's just so much life happens, and immediately you either fall back into the groove, or, you know, just you start talking to this person again, and everything picks back up, right? It's just like where things left off, however long ago. I could talk to some friends who I haven't talked to in a decent chunk of time and just pick up where we left off because, hey, we've known each other for this long, we've known each other this well. We could just talk about anything, and it feels nice to have that kind of relationship, despite it being kind of different, right? I don't know where I'm going with this, really. I was very inspired to just start reaching out to people who I haven't spoken to in a couple of years, right? After talking to the person, I'm not even sure if I mentioned them, but after talking to that person, I really want to reach out to more people and see, hey, what are you up to? And see what's going on in their lives, because they're important to me. And while I may have, we don't talk ever, this person was still a significant portion of my life, and I invested a significant amount of myself into this person. And the even if we were that friendship ended off horribly, I would still think about them. Every time their birthday comes around, or every time something we shared together, whether it be a piece of media or something that comes across my screen or I'm reminded of, you still think about that person. You still think about how, oh, this reminds me of this person. And to me, things like that are not painful. It's just one of those things where, hey, I hope this person is doing alright. We may have not seen eye to eye the last time we spoke, but presently, I hope that they're doing okay. And that's kind of how I feel when I listen to this track, right? I want the best for this person, and I hope that they're doing well. And despite everything, if I ever want to get to reach out to them and say, hey, are you doing okay? It takes a lot of effort to just type that message or send that, or call them on the phone. But I still think about them. And I hope that I don't ever stop thinking about these people. Alright, that got unnecessarily deep and philosophical, and I will kind of just cut it off here because this has been going on for too long, but I hope you take some of these words to heart, and every time you think of somebody, you listen to a song, it comes up on the radio or whatever playlist that you're rocking, the song comes up and you're reminded of somebody and you haven't spoken to them in years. Could be days, could be weeks, could be months, but anytime that something happens where your thoughts immediately jump to this person, reach out to them, see that they're okay. Sometimes it'll make your day, and sometimes, well, you may or may not even get a response, but do right by yourself and make sure that you're doing good and they're doing good. Okay. that's what I'm gonna call it here for today. So, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.